Hello, everyone. We will talk today about the Vancouver Island coal miners' strike, which was a war for rights from 1912 to 1924. Beneath the beautiful mountains and lush forests of Vancouver Island, a war was fought. Not with armies, but with pickets, scabs, and desperation. For over a decade, from 1912 to 1924, coal miners and their families waged a brutal struggle against powerful corporate interests. It was a fight for basic human dignity, safe working conditions, and a fair wage. A fight that would leave scars on a community and forever change the landscape of labor in Canada. The conflict was rooted in a system that was almost feudal. The miners, a diverse workforce of British, Italian, Chinese, and Eastern European immigrants, were dependent on the mining companies, chiefly the Canadian collieries, Dunsmuir Limited. Theirs was one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. They faced constant threats from cave-ins, explosions, and poisonous gas. Their pay was low, often in company scrip that could only be spent at inflated prices in company stores. They lived in fear, and in 1912, that fear turned to defiance. Organized by the United Mine Workers of America, the miners walked off the job in 1912. Their demands were simple: recognition of their union, a fair wage scale, and an end to the dangerous and discriminatory practices. The company's response was swift and severe. They hired private security and influenced the government to send in special constables to protect strikebreakers, or scabs. Tensions exploded into violence. In August 1913, a confrontation between strikers and strikebreakers in Wellington turned into a riot. Strikers overturned a train car, and shots were fired. The government responded by sending in the militia, occupying the mining towns and effectively imposing martial law. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 shattered the strike. Many miners enlisted, believing they were fighting for freedom abroad, a stark contrast to the struggle they faced at home. The strike effort fractured and largely collapsed. But the dangers of the mines did not stop. On October 17, 1918, with union safety regulations ignored, a massive explosion ripped through the Canadian collieries mine at Extension. The official death toll was 17 men, though some historians believe it was higher. It was a horrific reminder of exactly what the miners had been striking against. Grief and anger fueled a renewed strike in 1922, but the companies held firm. After years of hardship, broken and with resources exhausted, the miners finally conceded defeat in 1924. The cost was immense. Miners were blacklisted, families were evicted, and communities were torn apart. In the immediate sense, the companies had won. But the struggle was not in vain. The sheer length and brutality of the Vancouver Island strike became a rallying cry for the labor movement across Canada. It exposed the extremes of unchecked corporate power and highlighted the critical need for collective bargaining and workplace safety standards. The miners fought not for luxury, but for the right to a safe job, a fair day's pay, and to provide for their families without fear. They lost the battle, but their sacrifice helped win the war for workers' rights for generations to come. The story of the Vancouver Island miners is a profound and tragic chapter in Canadian history. It is a reminder of the courage it takes to stand up for dignity and the high price that is often paid for progress. What are your thoughts on this complex history? Share them in the comments below. And if you want to explore more forgotten stories, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more historical dives. Thank you.